Okay. As this northern hemisphere is lying in with the higher altitudes, which is a much height, so it receives hot summers and cool in the winters. Okay, in summers it will be too hot, and in winters it will be too cold only because of its altitude. So this is all we have learned in the previous class. Okay, we have learned about this North America, South America's hemispheres, temperate zones, and prairies and steppes are there located in the northern hemisphere. Wealth, downs, and pampas are located in the southern hemispheres. So northern hemisphere's grasslands are too hot in summers and too cold in winters because of its altitude. So this we have learned. So out of all these grasslands like prairies, pampas, wells, downs, and streams, out of all these, today we will be in this lesson we will be only learning about North America's prairies. Okay, especially we are going to learn only about the North America's prairies. Others we are not going to learn. Okay, yes. So land of grass is the prairies of North America, children. So what is the meaning of prairies actually? What is the meaning of prairies here is, it means a meadow grazed by cattle. A meadow grazed by cattle. Like it's a grassland. Meadow is nothing but it's a grassland where all the cattle come and graze. So I want all the students to on your videos. More than half of the class have audio videos. Everyone on your videos now. On your videos now. Everyone. Or else you will be marked as absent. Yashdeep, Hasini, Harika, Neha, Mokshet, Srijanya, Aditi. Make it fast. Yes. So these prairies are mostly covered in the parts of USA and Canada. This prairies, these grasslands which are there in North America, it is mostly covered in the parts of USA and Canada. Okay. So now we will be learning in detail about the physical features of these prairies grassland. Yes. So when you talk about the grassland and when you talk about the boundaries, when you talk about the prairies boundaries, okay, and to each west side you can find Rocky Mountains. This is the prairies, children. So to each west side, this is the west side. To each west side you can find the Rocky Mountains, and to each right side you can find Appalachian Mountains. Appalachian Mountains. At the same time, you can also find Great Lakes, Appalachian Mountains, and also you can find Great Lakes to its east side, and to its south side. What do we find? We find plateaus and also low hills. We can find plateaus and low hills. To its west, this is the prairies, children. North we don't have anything because it is covered with the prairies. Okay, and to its west side we can find Rocky Mountains. To its west side of prairies we can find Rocky Mountains. To its east side we can find Appalachian Mountains and also the Great Lake. Okay, Appalachian Mountains and Great Lakes to its east side, and to its south. To its south side we can find plateaus as well as low hills. So this is the borders of the prairies. Prairies is nothing but a grassland. Okay, and also we can find Mississippi River as well as Missouri River. Mississippi River and also Missouri rivers are the two rivers which are flowing in this region. Okay, these are the two rivers which are flowing in this region. Children, if you have any doubt related to this lesson, last 10 minutes I will give you chance to unmute yourself and then you can ask your doubt. Okay, so meanwhile please mute yourself. No need to raise your hands. Definitely I'll give you a chance to clarify your doubt. Okay, last 10 minutes definitely I'm going to give you a chance to clarify your doubt. So before that, just listen to me clearly. Let me complete the topic, then later on last 10 minutes I'll give you a chance to clarify your doubt. Okay, yes. Okay, these prairies can also be called as sea of grasses. Sea of grasses. Prairies are nothing but the meadows or the grasslands. Grassland is what? It's covered with grass only, na? Grassland is nothing but which is covered with grass. Okay. So, however, we are calling polar regions. Why we are calling polar regions? Because it is always covered with the snow. It is well known fact. In the same way, grassland means grass is grown more there. That's it. So, yeah, these prairies are called as sea of grasses because there is a vast growth of grass. Like vast is nothing but much area is grown, grass is grown there. So that's why it is called a sea of grass. Okay, and very few trees we can find. We can find very few trees. Okay, according to the rainfall, it differs. Very few trees we can find in these grasslands. Okay, very few trees and tall trees we can find there. Okay, yes. So this is all about the physical features, children. This is all about the physical features of prairies, that particular area, North America's prairies. So to its west, we can find the Rocky Mountains. To its east, we can find Appalachian Mountains and also Great Lake. And also to its south, we can find plateaus as well as low hills. So this is the boundary of prairies. To its north, nothing is there because it is only a prairie grassland. Okay. And here, these prairies are also called as a sea of grasses because large area, like most of the area is covered with the grass. So it is called as a sea of grasses. And sometimes very few trees are grown there. They are grown very tall, very few trees, like they are scattered in the sense, like one is here, one is in some other, like it is in different areas. Okay, these trees are very few which are grown in a prairies. Okay, so this is all about the physical features. Now we will be learning about climatic conditions which are there in the prairies. Okay, these climatic conditions, okay, these prairies are located in the continent of North America. In the continent of North America means it is not there on the borders. Okay, it is not there to its borders. It is there inside the continent. Inside the continent, it is there. It is not there to its borders. Inside the continent, it is there. And here, there is moderate influence of the sea. The places which are near to the sea, like they will face their own sort of a climate. Okay, the humidity, everything they will be facing. But these prairies are away from the sea. Okay, they are a bit away from the sea. So we could see a moderate influence of the sea. It's a normal influence of the sea, but not much more because it is far away from the sea. Okay, and here we can see as it is in the higher altitude, as these prairies are in the higher altitude, summers are too hot and winters are too cool. As it is in the higher altitude, so summers are too hot and winters are too cool. And also strong winds blow on this direction. And why there are very strong winds and why these trees are not stopping? Because very few trees are there. If there are much more trees, that at least the trees could start some sort of a wind. But there are very few trees, less trees are there. So we could see a strong winds or a breeze blown there. Okay, and also we can also call Chinook. Chinook. What is Chinook here? It's nothing but the hot winds. Chinook are nothing but the hot winds. These hot winds are blowing towards the prairies. It is coming over the prairies. Okay, these hot winds are blowing towards the prairies during the spring season. Okay, due to these winds, yeah, what happened? Whatever the snow has formed or whatever, sometimes during winter season, because in winters it is extremely cold. Due to that, it is going to get the snow or whatever the water is available, it is going to be frozen. So that during spring season, so due to this Chinook wind or Chinook air, so this is going to get melted. Okay, that is going to get melted and animals can graze easily. Okay, And here the climate will be dry, children. The climate is dry here in these prairies. The climate is dry. In normal, like summers it is too hot. Like in winter it is too cold. But in general, the climate condition is normally dry there. Okay. So this is all about climate. Let me tell you once again. So these prairies are located in the continent North America, continent, interiors of the continent, not at the borders, but it is interior inside the continent. Okay. And as it is away from the sea, there is a moderate influence on the sea. Okay. There is as there is prairies are away from the sea, we can influence, a moderate influence can be seen by the sea. And also summers are extremely hot and winters are extremely cool. And due to this extremely cool winters, whatever the things are frozen, so it will be melted because of this Chinook winds. Because of this Chinook hot winds, whatever is being frozen during the extreme winters, then that is melted, and where it is easy for the animals to graze. Okay, this is all about the climatic conditions of a prairies. Okay, climatic conditions of prairies. Now we will be learning about the vegetation. So vegetation is nothing but, only thing is vegetation. When we talk about vegetation, it looks green. Okay, vegetation means green. Okay, what is that you are showing, Deepesh? Yes, listen here. Yes. So here, for each and everything, we have many more varieties or different types. If I talk about chalk also, in chalk also we have varieties such as dustless chalk or colorful chalks. Yes, or normal chalk, which what we are writing. Like we have some variety. Whatever the thing you take, suppose if I take an example of a mobile. So we have Samsung mobile, Nokia mobile, Apple mobile, Micromax, some varieties, whatever maybe, some varieties. For each and everything we have different types. In the same way here, even for grass also we have different types of grass, children. Okay, in a general life, when you go to villages, when you go to your countryside, you can see that even for grass, they call it as green grass and dry grass. Green grass and dry grass. Have you ever heard pachagaddi, endugaddi? For the animals, they are going to put pachagaddi, endugaddi. In villages, you might have heard this. Yes? Yes. So different types, even that green grass or dry grass, whatever it may be. Few grasses are grown very little, they just look smaller, and few grasses grow to a higher length, to a good height, they are going to grow. Even in when you go to the crops or the fields, there you can find like the borders, you can find for every tree, for every crop or the field, you will have borders. There a different sort of grass is grown. Like in grasses also we have a different types. Okay, like out of that, short and sparse grasses are grown where there is less rainfall. Yes, according to the climatic conditions or according to the rainfall, whatever the amount received, the rainfall. So that also there is a change in the growth of the grass. Okay. So when there is a less rainfall, when there is less rainfall to that particular region, there we can find a sort of short grass and also sparse grass. It's a name of a grass. Sparse grass also is a name of a grass. So when there is a less rainfall, we can find this sparse grass and a short grass, where the amount of rainfall is very less than. And there we can also find a place where, okay, trees grow in a place. Generally, we have learned that in prairies, like wherever the grasslands are there we can find very few trees. Very few trees we can find in the particular area. Okay, where we can see many more trees, the place where we get heavy rainfall. The places where they get heavy rainfall, so there we can see much more trees. Okay, yes. And also, the places where they are getting much more rainfall, there the grass can produce its own root. Okay, the grasses, generally grasses are grown like this, right? Like it's it will grow in its own way, somehow it will grow. So down it can produce its own roots. Down part, it can produce its own root because of that heavy rainfall. And also, some of the roots will die. If we put on more water also, it will die. And if we give less water also, it will die. The plant or the grass is going to die. So whatever the grasses is died, so that will become as a manure. It will decompose itself and it will create its own manure. You know what is manure? How this cow dung is useful for plants for a healthy growth. So even this will decompose itself and change it as a manure. Okay, it's to make the land fertile. To make the land fertile, these dead plants or the grass changing itself to decompose itself and then to give a good strength to the land. It gives a fertile land. Okay, this is how these roads are being done. And also, like sometimes we have already learned that in the Amazon rainforest also, there is some sort of fire in the forest. Okay, don't know how it is going to be. Wantedly, no one is going to lit a fire, but unknowingly, like because of the cigarettes or because of the sudden lit of the matchbox or the matchstick, and unknowingly people might have thrown like this. Like a few mischievous people will be simply throwing all the matchsticks. So in such a way, as the places, as we have already learned, dry grass and the green grass, the places where the grass is very dry, it can lit the fire very easily. Yes, the places where the grasses is dry, it can lit the fire very easily. So this is how these are getting reduced. How the forests have been got reduced. So in the same way, even these grasslands are getting reduced. And also, we are having some sort of grasslands such as blue stem, Indian grass, and switch grass. These are the three different varieties of grass. It's a name of a grass, children. Varieties of a grass. Okay, and once the grassland is burnt, once the grassland is burnt.
Ma'am, even lemongrass will be, no, ma'am?
Yes, Nana, lemongrass. Many more varieties of grasses are there. We can see varieties with our naked eye, but we don't know the exact name of it.
Ma'am, because lemongrass smells like.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Like biological students, like these biological students might be knowing clearly about the different names of the grasses. Yes, Yashita?
Ma'am, we can ask doubts now.
Yes, you can ask.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, you told for west side we will have one
Rocky
Rocky Mountains to the
Yes.
west, and ma'am, can you once again tell that, ma'am?
Left side, we will have Rocky Mountains, Nana. So these are the prairies. Prairies. Okay, left side, we will have Rocky Mountains. Right, east side. This is east side. East side, we have Appalachian Mountains. And we'll also.
Appalachian Mountains means what, ma'am?
It's a name of a mountain.
Ma'am, what is Decomomba?
Yes.
What is Decomops, ma'am?
Decumom is. Where did you get that word?
Ma'am, in this only, ma'am, textbook.
Where is that word? I didn't get the word which you have told me. What is that word? Where it is? Tell me.
Ma'am.
Depending on the rainfall, many types of grasses are found that short and
She's telling
decompose.
Decompose. You're talking about decompose.
Some of the roots die
Yeah,
and
Decompose is, see, suppose if you take an example of an apple, if at all it is rotten, what you are going to throw, what you are going to do, you are going to throw it in dustbin, right? Instead of throwing it on the dustbin, if you throw on the land, like it's not like a concrete road, it's normal land. If you throw, that will get decomposed into the soil, right? Why people are saying not to throw plastic on the roads?
Ma'am,
Because
it's
it cannot
plants will
decompose. It cannot grasp. How many years that plastic cover will be lying there only. But if you talk about plants or the rotten fruits or rotten vegetables, that land is going to compose the particular cotton vegetables. It is going to decompose into the soil, and that decompose, it will be a good strength for the plants to grow. That will give good health. Even these grass also can go with good health condition.
Okay, ma'am, I
We
understand.
read
As
the
decompose.
word,
Trees are also called as grasslands, no ma'am?
Trees are also not called as grasslands, Nana. In the grasslands, we can find much, huge amount of grass we can find.
Small
Apart
grasses,
from that, very few trees can be find. We can find very few trees, and those will be scattered.
ma'am.
Scattered is nothing but in like with a lot of space, one after the other will be there.
Then prairies means what, ma'am?
Grassland. Prairies is nothing but a grassland. So what is Roshni? Roshni is a human being. Who is Shauri? Shauri is also a human being. Sehasri Harika also a human being. All human beings can keep only one name only, na? Why people started
Yes,
to
ma'am.
call different names? It is their own wish. In the same way, even that North America, instead of calling us grassland, in India we call it as grassland only. But in North America, they are calling us prairies. In South America, they are calling us pampas. Like according to their well-land wish, they change the names. That's it.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of low hills, ma'am? Low hills.
Which are not of much height, with a low height. Low hills are nothing but which are of low. The latitude will be less. Tighter.
Ma'am, grasslands will be in grasslands. Grass will be in which color, ma'am? Green color or brown color, ma'am?
According to the weather conditions, it changes. It may be in green or it may be in brown also. Sometimes both combination of both also can be found.
Ma'am,
Yeah, ma'am.
ma'am,
I saw that.
because of this Chinook, what will happen, ma'am, in this climate? Chinook,
Because
you
of
told
this
me.
Chinook, whatever the grassland is frozen because of extreme cold winters. We have extreme hot climate, extreme cold climate. Yes. So because of these extreme hot and cold climates, whatever the things are frozen, because of this hot winds, that Arsaline, mute yourself.
Ali, mute.
Yes. So because of this extreme hot winds, so that is going to melt. Whatever the frozen grassland is there, that is going to melt. After melting, it is easy for these animals to graze.
Ma'am, the grasslands, how they will froze, ma'am?
How the plants are growing, how the crops are growing. Generally, how the crops will grow. We will first plow it and then we sow the seeds. Then we will get a good crop.
Ma'am.
But grass is also we have some sort of seeds.
No, ma'am, I'm
Seeds also
asking
because
that
of the
how
rainfall,
the
it can grow like
grasslands
this.
will frozen.
Yes.
How the grasslands will be frozen, ma'am?
How it will get the frozen is because of extreme winters. Extreme winters, what will happen? The climatic conditions, how it will be? The temperatures will be very low. It is not possible for us to eat. During the winters, once you go and visit the grassland, if you go to the crops, all the water drops will be there on the plants.
When the grassland is frozen, the Chinook will dry up, ma'am.
Whenever these, it's not that after like every season we have certain time period, right? After this time period, after this winter time period, then these Chinook winds will come. We have certain seasons, right?